Chapter 458, Unexpected Surprise 1. There was a subtle change in Yi Qingtang's expression as she stared at the lightning dragon. Most of the spirit energy in the medium-grade spirit stones had been absorbed by her, and the remaining energy could not be used by humans anymore, so they were considered useless. But she forgot that the last trace of spirit energy that could not be obtained by people still could be used by lightning dragons, as they would swallow the entire stone. Though most of the spirit energy was used by Yi Qingtang, the remaining was still much more than the spirit energy that inferior grade spirit stones contained. No wonder the lightning dragon was so excited. Yi Qingtang smiled and watched the lightning dragon swallowing all the 17 medium-grade spirit stones. It laid beside her in satisfaction. Yi Qingtang could not help but poke its round belly gently. The lightning dragon swung its body lightly, but was too lazy to move anymore. Its eyes narrowed comfortably. Yi Qingtang witnessed how satisfied the lightning dragon was and did not poke it anymore. She gently hugged it in her arms. This gave her a reminder that in future, if there were medium-grade spirit stones again, she must leave the scraps to this little dragon. After settling the lightning dragon, Yi Qingtang took out the spirit life flower from her space ring. Laughter filled her eyes as she sized up the spirit life flower. This was the treasure that Yi Yu was longing for. Yi got her hands on it in last time around, and her spirit root was refreshed. The power of her spirit root became purer, and her ability improved at a faster pace. In this life, the spirit life flower did not belong to Yi Yu anymore and fell into her hands. Yi Qingtang did not hesitate and swallowed the spirit life flower. Other than a little sweetness, the taste was not special. After 4 hours, Yi Qingtang suddenly frowned as there was a wide breath circulating inside her body. Yi Qingtang's body felt like it was being beaten by hammers. Her limbs and body were shivering slightly. Yi Qingtang could clearly feel that her spirit root was surrounded by a weird power. The heart of the demon god seemed to be disturbed and awoken at the same time. It engulfed the weird power constantly, and then channeled all the power to the spirit root. The whole process was unbearable for normal people. The spirit root was the foundation of a cultivator and their source of power. The refreshing process was painful and unbearable. Yi Qingtang's entire body was soaked with cold sweat, but she gritted her teeth and persevered without making any sound. The pain slowly faded after a long time. Yi Qingtang calmed her heart down and checked the situation of her spirit root. The orange color was brighter now, and her spirit root was radiating some kind of hot breath. The color was darkening, and eventually the spirit root showed a golden yellow color. Yellow spirit root? Yi Qingtang was stunned, and her body trembled. It took her very long to realize what just happened. She also did not expect the effects of a spirit life flower to be so great. After the process, her orange spirit root had leveled up to a yellow spirit root. Leveling up a spirit root was extremely difficult, and it was even harder to do so on this land where there was insufficient spirit energy and obsolete martial civilization. However, her spirit root still leveled up under such conditions. Chapter 459, Unexpected Surprise 2. Before Yi Qingtang could think it through, the yellow spirit root that just transformed suddenly radiated an extremely hot breath. The breath spread like fire, rushing into every meridian inside her body. Arg! Even Yi Qingtang also groaned in pain. The cold sweat on her head was dripping like pearls from a broken string. Yi Qingtang's face was full of astonishment. Yi Qingtang immediately wanted to direct her primordial qi to counter the pain that was brought by the heat radiated from the spirit life flower. However, that did not help at all, and instead caused the breath to be even hotter, as if she was surrounded by fire. Hot flames suddenly arose on from her arm to her entire body. Yi Qingtang was shocked. The flame engulfed her completely within a second and condensed into a sun-like shape. A bright glow filled the entire cave. Under the light of the little sun, Yi Qingtang's expression showed that she was suffering in agony. It seemed that she might melt at any time. However, at the same moment, the heart of the demon god started beating. A ray of black light surrounded Yi Qingtang and protected her inside. The unbearable pain was then slightly relieved, and Yi Qingtang regained her consciousness. The little sun faded after 2 days. At the same time, when Yi Qingtang opened her eyes, a streak of light suddenly shot out of her eyes. Boom! The light crushed the wall of the stone into a brown powder. The Paragon skill, Rise of the Phoenix. Yi Qingtang was stunned. She could not believe what had just happened. The level of one spirit root was classified as red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, and purple. The so-called Paragon skill was not an external martial skill. It was the only skill that could be understood from the spirit root. Only cultivators with yellow spirit roots and above could understand their own Paragon skills. It was extremely rare for one to understand the Paragon skill. Feng Moli was the only one in the Xianling sect who understood the Paragon skill, and that was the reason why he was valued so high in the sect. It was obvious how precious the Paragon skill was. Yi Qingtang lifted her arm slightly. A flower constructed by a golden flame emerged on her palm. The heat immediately spread out like fire. Yi Qingtang still remained in shock. That's weird. This does not look like the normal Rise of the Phoenix. Yi Qingtang frowned as she could not understand the Paragon skill that came from nowhere. The normal Rise of the Phoenix stored some kind of energy in the body, but Yi Qingtang's Rise of the Phoenix merged the energy into her meridians. Even her primordial qi was also affected, and the color changed from pure white to gold. The Paragon skill could never reach this level. Furthermore, the Rise of the Phoenix came very suddenly, and she was almost killed in the flame. If the heart of the demon god had not protected her just now, she might have been burned alive under the heat of the Rise of the Phoenix. She had never heard that the Paragon skill was so dangerous that one might lose their life. Unless, Yi Qingtang seemed to realize something after a while. Her pupil contracted, and her face was filled with disbelief. Is it possible that this is not the normal Rise of the Phoenix, but the ultimate origin skill? Yi Qingtang was totally taken aback by this thought. Chapter 460 Unexpected Surprise 3. The ultimate origin skill was the same as the Paragon skill, but much more powerful. According to the rumors, only those who were born extremely talented had the chance to acquire the ultimate origin skill. There were 3 powerful people who had acquired the ultimate origin skill on this land. The first person was the legend on this land. He was addressed by people as the Pagoda Sword Master. He reached the ultimate level of the Yin-Yang True Lord at age 20 and was only half step away from breaking through to the arcane supremacy level. However, the martial civilization on this land was too obsolete, and there was insufficient spirit energy. The Pagoda Sword Master left eventually to a land with a more advanced civilization, and no one knew where he was now. The second person was the Lord of the Blood Moon sect. He was the ultimate power of the Blood Moon sect, more terrifying than the Blood Moon sect master. His position in the Blood Moon sect was equal to the Grand Elder of the sect. The third person would be the Ultimate Elder, the most powerful person on this land. The renowned sects combined their forces back, then to terminate the entire Blood Moon sect. And within half a year, the Blood Moon sect was greatly damaged, and they had to retreat. Then, the Blood Moon Lord finished his seclusion and only used half a day to kill many sections. His power was insane, and no one could beat him. However, the Ultimate Elder showed up soon and fought with the Blood Moon Lord. He eventually beat off the Lord. If the Ultimate Elder had not shown up, the Blood Moon sect would have definitely won. The 3 most powerful people on this land all possessed the ultimate origin skill. The youngest Pagoda Sword Master was the first, followed by the Blood Moon Lord and the Ultimate Elder. Yi Qingtang had also heard of the Pagoda Sword Master before. It was said that he had no competitors on this land. He once fought with the Ultimate Elder and Blood Moon Lord together, and he only used 10 steps to fight off both of them. He then sighed and flew into the void. Eventually, he left this piece of land. Ultimate origin skill, Yi Qingtang's eyes were fixed onto her palm. Her Rise of the Phoenix had the same flame property as Feng Moli's Paragon skill. However, its nature was vastly different. Feng Moli's Paragon skill was just an ordinary one. It could not even be compared to the ultimate origin skill. Is it due to the refreshment of the spirit life flower? It leveled up my spirit root. Then, is there some kind of mutation that causes me to acquire the ultimate origin skill? Yi Qingtang could not figure out the origin of the ultimate origin skill. She only knew that the ultimate origin skill was way beyond the paragon skill, but she did not know how it was formed. Yi Qingtang always looked forward to obtaining the paragon skill in her previous life, but she could only dream about it, as she did not have a spirit root. She did not expect that she could acquire the ultimate origin skill in this life that was much more powerful than the paragon skill. It's a pity that my ultimate origin skill is not powerful enough due to my cultivation level. Yi Qingtang contemplated for a while and murmured to herself. The ultimate origin skill that she could display using her third heaven of martial chi level 2's cultivation might be able to reach a draw with people at Yi Tianqi's level. It was even possible to kill them with the ultimate origin skill. Yi Tianqi was killed by her as he was severely injured. He looked down on her and was not on guard against her, giving her the chance to kill him. Otherwise, she could never fight against him. After a short while, Yi Qingtang used the feather formation technique. Her primordial chi concentrated at her back, and the pure white feathers also turned into a gold color as the result of the ultimate origin skill. Yi Qingtang flew into the air immediately, heading towards the Xianling sect. She had been at this mountain valley for quite a while. Elder Qin and the rest might have left the drifting cloud island. Thus, Yi Qingtang did not plan to return to there. Yi Qingtang flew at a very high speed, and she had flew around 5,000 meters away within a second. Suddenly, Yi Qingtang frowned and stopped in midair. Earth-shaking sounds came from a few hundred meters away. There were two streaks of martial chi aura spreading out. Even Yi Qingtang could sense the aura. Yi Qingtang did not want to be involved. However, when she was about to leave, a huge demon subduing pagoda emerged in front of her eyes. Chapter 461 Demon Subduing Pagoda 1. That demon subduing pagoda was over 10 feet tall, with an imposing aura that filled the air. Yi Qingtang was taken aback by this look. That is, Master's demon subduing pagoda. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang was once saved by perfected Xianqian of Nine Knights Dynasty and brought to cultivate in Falling Sky Valley. That demon subduing pagoda was one of perfected Zhuanshan's Dharma treasures which could subdue all evil beings, and Yi Qingtang had once seen it before. This is strange. Master once said that his demon subduing pagoda was handed to his favorite disciple. Afterward, that disciple was killed, and the demon subduing pagoda ended up in Yunxiao Sect's hands. Yi Qingtang's brows were furrowed as she pondered. The demon subduing pagoda was in Yunxiao Sect's hands for very long, until a long time later when perfected Xianqian killed a Yunxiao Sect elder and got the demon subduing pagoda back. Why would I see Master's demon subduing pagoda here? Yi Qingtang's expression was serious. After thinking for a long while, she ultimately decided to check. Kilometers away, two young males were exuding a frightening air which stirred gusts of winds that swept the surrounding area. One of the males was wearing a long black robe, and there was a golden embroidery of the word Valley on the chest, while the other person was a Yunxiao Sect disciple. Huh! Ji Xuan, disciple of perfected Xianqian in Nine Knights Dynasty, I did not think that I would actually meet you here. The Yunxiao Sect disciple sneered at the teen in the black robe. At that instant, the youth in the black robe waved his right arm, and the tall demon subduing pagoda shrank immediately and fell into his hand. You are the disciple of Yunxiao Sect's sect master, Yu Tianqing? The male in the black robe had an aloof expression as he sized up the youth before him. That's me? Yu Tianqing laughed. Ji Xuan, why are you not in Nine Knights Dynasty, but here in Formidable Heavens Dynasty? It has nothing to do with you. Ji Xuan replied. Upon hearing that, a cold glint flashed across Yu Tianqing's eyes. Huh! Ji Xuan, Falling Sky Valley and Yunxiao Sect are mortal enemies. Now that you've stepped into the Formidable Heavens Dynasty, you are courting your own death. Oh hey, Ji Xuan said with indifference. Our skills are similar, and Master granted me the Dharma treasure, demon-subduing pagoda for this trip to the formidable Heavens Dynasty. Wonder which one of us will die today. Then, the demon-subduing pagoda in his hands turned swiftly. It let out a horrifying sound, and thunder emerged around it. Ji Xuan waved his right arm, and a palm print was formed from his palms. Instantly, the demon-subduing pagoda elongated and turned to be over 10 meters tall, which suppressed Yu Tianqing. This Dharma treasure is indeed powerful. After being forced backward 10 or so steps by the demon-subduing pagoda, Yu Tianqing suddenly stopped and took out a talisman. GOL then, Yu Tianqing threw the talisman out. In a second, the talisman started burning and eventually turned into a golden light once it was completely burnt. Array formation in a talisman? After noticing the situation, Ji Yixuan's expression changed slightly. The more powerful the array formation was, the longer it took to set the array, and top array formations needed at least months to finish setting up. However, Yu Tianqing sealed the array formation in the talisman in advance, which could achieve the effect immediately. Golden light cast from the sky immediately and shrouded over the demon-subduing pagoda. Boom! 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 The huge demon-subduing pagoda was wildly attacked in the golden light, where the sounds of contact were frightening. Nonetheless, Yu Tianqing's array formation was extremely brilliant, and the demon-subduing pagoda could not escape it. Worldly self-illusion. With an indifferent expression, Ji Xuan immediately manifested another him. At that moment, there were two Ji Yixuan standing side by side. 461 Demon-Subduing Pagoda 1. That demon-subduing pagoda was over 10 feet tall with an imposing aura that filled the air. Yi Qingtang was taken aback by this look. That is, Master's demon-subduing pagoda. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang was once saved by perfected Xianxin of Nine Knights Dynasty and brought to cultivate in Falling Sky Valley. That demon-subduing pagoda was one of perfected Zhuanshan's Dharma treasures which could subdue all evil beings, and Yi Qingtang had once seen it before. This is strange. Master once said that his demon-subduing pagoda was handed to his favorite disciple. Afterward, that disciple was killed, and the demon-subduing pagoda ended up in Yunxiao Sek's hands. Yi Qingtang's brows were furrowed as she pondered. The demon-subduing pagoda was in Yunxiao Sek's hands for very long, until a long time later when perfected Xianxin killed a Yunxiao sect elder and got the demon-subduing pagoda back. Why would I see Master's demon-subduing pagoda here? Yi Qingtang's expression was serious. After thinking for a long while, she ultimately decided to check. Kilometers away, two young males were exuding a frightening air, which stirred gusts of winds that swept the surrounding area. One of the males was wearing a long black robe, and there was a golden embroidery of the word Valley on the chest, while the other person was a Yunxiao sect disciple. Huh. Ji Xuan, disciple of perfected Xianxin in Nine Knights Dynasty, I did not think that I would actually meet you here. The Yunxiao sect disciple sneered at the teen in the black robe. At that instant, the youth in the black robe waved his right arm, and the tall demon-subduing pagoda shrank immediately and fell into his hand. You are the disciple of Yunxiao sect master, Yu Tianqing. The male in the black robe had an aloof expression as he sized up the youth before him. That's me? Yu Tianqing laughed. Ji Xuan, why are you not in Nine Knights Dynasty, but here in Formidable Heavens Dynasty? It has nothing to do with you. Ji Xuan replied. Upon hearing that, a cold glint flashed across Yu Tianqing's eyes. Ji Xuan, Falling Sky Valley and Yunxiao sect are mortal enemies. Now that you've stepped into the Formidable Heavens Dynasty, you are courting your own death. Oh hey, Ji Xuan said with indifference. Our skills are similar, and Master granted me the Dharma treasure, demon-subduing pagoda, for this trip to the Formidable Heavens Dynasty. Wonder which one of us will die today. Then, the demon-subduing pagoda in his hands turned swiftly. It let out a horrifying sound, and thunder emerged around it. Ji Xuan waved his right arm, and a palm print was formed from his palms. Instantly, the demon-subduing pagoda elongated and turned to be over 10 meters tall, which suppressed Yu Tianqing. This Dharma treasure is indeed powerful. After being forced backward 10 or so steps by the demon's subduing pagoda, Yu Qiancheng suddenly stopped and took out a talisman. Then Yu Qiancheng threw the talisman out. In a second, the talisman started burning and eventually turned into a golden light once it was completely burnt. A ray formation in a talisman? After noticing the situation, Ji Yixuan's expression changed slightly. The more powerful the array formation was, the longer it took to set the array, and top array formations needed at least months to finish setting up. However, Yu Qiancheng sealed the array formation in the talisman in advance, which could achieve the effect immediately. Golden light cast from the sky immediately and shrouded over the demon subduing pagoda. Boom! 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 The huge demon subduing pagoda was wildly attacked in the golden light, where the sounds of contact were frightening. Nonetheless, Yu Qiancheng's array formation was extremely brilliant, and the demon subduing pagoda could not escape it. Worldly self-illusion. With an indifferent expression, Ji Yixuan immediately manifested another him. At that moment, there were two Ji Yixuan standing side by side. Chapter 462 Demon Subduing Pagoda 2.0 Worldly Self-Illusion. Your martial talents are indeed shocking, and you have proved yourself to be the favorite disciple of Falling Sky Valley's perfected Xianxin. Your worldly self-illusion is actually at such a refined level. Yu Qiancheng shook his head and continued. If not for Master's Kingdom of God Talisman, perhaps I would really have been defeated by you today. Then, Yu Qiancheng sneered as he took out another talisman from his space ring. Once the talisman was completely burnt, it was as though there were singings of various gods in the surroundings, and an illusory kingdom of God fell from the sky. Shock filled Ji Yixuan's eyes upon noticing the situation. The kingdom of God was the highest level array formation, which could even suppress someone at third heaven of martial qi level 3. Yunshao sect was actually so generous to give their disciples such a life-saving item. Seeing that the kingdom of God was falling down, Ji Yixuan immediately retreated far away. It's no use. Yu Qiancheng's lips curled into a cold scoff. Just as Yu Qiancheng finished his sentence, the kingdom of God landed and quelled Ji Yixuan's duplicate while trapping his original self within it. Subsequently, the kingdom of God shrank and turned into an enclosed golden screen. A mere kingdom of God, and you wish to trap Ji Yixuan? Ji Yixuan drew out his divine weapon with a loud clang. At that moment, Ji Yixuan gripped on the divine weapon tightly with firmness in his eyes. Sword intent, Yu Qiancheng's brows were tightly furrowed. When cultivated to the extreme, a swordsman could develop the sword intent, which was incredibly frightening willpower that could even split mountains and cut rivers. Shatter! Ji Yixuan shouted sternly as he waved his divine weapon. Boom! A sword glint rummaged across the screen, as though it wanted to annihilate this world. However, this frightening strike only caused a tiny crack on the exterior of the screen, while the divine weapon in Ji Yixuan's hands broke. Ha! Yu Qiancheng guffawed at the situation. Amazing! Indeed amazing! Truly a genius of Falling Sky Valley. It is a pity, though, that this kingdom of God is given by my master and is extremely firm. Even if you understand the sword intent, you can't break it. Ji Yixuan did not move after hearing it as he looked at Yu Qiancheng without emotions. It's a pity. This kingdom of God can trap people for only that long, and afterward, the force of the array formation would fade away. I will kill you once I'm out. Out! Yu Qiancheng shook his head. I forgot to tell you that there's a breath of destruction injected in it by my senior sister, Yi, using the force of her blue spirit root. You will become a skeleton in at most 4 hours. Only at that instant was there a slight abnormality in Ji Yixuan's expression. In the 7 spirit roots, there would be changes in the attributes of a spirit from the blue spirit root on. Blue spirit roots could actively absorb the spirit energy in the world and turn the absorbed spirit energy into the breath of destruction. Yunshao sect produced a rare genius, Yi Yu, and he naturally heard of it as a Falling Sky Valley disciple. Although he was unaware of how powerful that Yi Yu was, even if she did not really cultivate in the future, just solely using the blue spirit root in her body to actively absorb the spirit energy in the world was enough for her to become a yin-yang true lord. If this kingdom of God really contained Yi Yu's breath of destruction, as what Yu Qiancheng said, if he could not find a way to escape from the array formation in a short time, he would definitely die in it. Yu Qiancheng looked at Ji Xuan, who was sealed in the array formation screen, and commented spiritedly. Ji Xuan, one of the younger generation talents in Falling Sky Valley, and a disciple of perfected Xianxin, it's impressive that you understand the sword intent and worldly self-illusion. Yet ultimately you still have to die in my hands. It truly is a twist of fate. Chapter 463 Demon, Subduing Pagoda 3. Ji Xuan frowned deeply without saying anything to Yu Tianqing. The force of destruction was slowly beginning to condense in the kingdom of God. If he still did not think of a way to escape, he would probably lose his life here. Yu Tianqing sneered, as though he had seen through Ji Yixuan's thoughts. Ji Xuan, this array formation can only be broken from the outside. It is already considered a miracle that you could create a crack in the kingdom of God from the inside with the sword intent earlier on. Now, your weapon is already broken, and there is no way you can condense the force of the sword intent anymore, much less escape from here. Just kill that thought. Then, Yu Tianqing walked to another side. The corners of his lips tugged up slightly as he looked at the demon, subduing pagoda in the golden light. He waved his right arm over it, and the golden light faded away. He placed the demon, subduing pagoda, which had returned to its original size, into his palm. Not bad. The Dharma treasure of Falling Sky Valley's division Valley Master, perfected Xianxin, is indeed not bad. However, it belongs to us, Yunxiao sect now. Yu Tianqing laughed. Don't you dare! Fury emerged in Ji Yixuan's eyes. The demon subduing pagoda was given to him by his master, perfected Xianxin, to protect his life. How could it end up in the hands of their mortal enemy, Yunxiao sect? Ha! Yu Tianqing could not help but scoff. The demon subduing pagoda is already in my hands now. Do you think I dare or not? Before waiting for Ji Xuan to say anything, Yu Tianqing waved a hand and intercepted him. Ji Xuan, instead of wasting saliva like this, why not think of how to escape from there? As Yu Tianqing finished his sentence, the pressure of the spirit energy in the kingdom of God, read only at Wuxia World. Site for fast updates, skyrocketed and materialized into an inexplicable breath of destruction. The force of it was like the descent of countless mountains which suppressed Ji Yixuan tightly, causing his breaths to quicken and face to flush. Before long, Ji Yixuan could no longer hold it in and fell on the floor with a thump as cold sweat dripped down his forehead like a broken pearl necklace. On a slope several hundred meters away, Yi Qingtang was looking ahead at that instant. Yu Qiancheng, after she saw that small disciple of the Yunxiao sect master, her fists were tightly clenched, and she strongly desired to skin him alive. In her previous lifetime, she was wounded by Yu Tianqing a few times and almost lost her life in all encounters. After Nine Knights Dynasty was wiped out, Yunxiao sect combined forces with other super sects of Formidable Heavens Dynasty to attack Falling Sky Valley. Yu Tianqing's hands were stained with the blood of all her senior and junior brothers. Very quickly, Yi Qingtang calmed her heart down and looked at Ji Yixuan. She never thought that she would meet Ji Yixuan, the disciple of her master who had already passed on in her previous life, of Falling Sky Valley today. Back then, Yi Qingtang entered Falling Sky Valley and cultivated beside perfected Xianxin. Thus, she naturally had heard of these past events. Ji Yixuan came to the Formidable Heavens Dynasty to obtain the Regeneration Stone. The Regeneration Stone possessed the powers of renewing the bones of a dying person. The Valley Master of Falling Sky Valley was heavily injured from a battle a decade ago. He was already of old age now and had a sudden illness. He could only keep his life with that Regeneration Stone. In her previous life, the Regeneration Stone that Ji Yixuan obtained along with the demon subduing pagoda fell into Yunxiao sect's hands together. because the regeneration stone was too rare. Perfected Xianqin could not find another one even when he personally searched for it, which resulted in the eventual death of Falling Sky Valley's Valley Master. Yi Qingtang looked at Ji Xuan, who was over 100 meters away. He was sealed in the array formation, and the force of destruction in it had already caused him to gasp for air. She was afraid that Ji Xuan would die in the array in no time. Based on skills, Ji Xuan was one of Falling Sky Valley's geniuses and had comprehended the sword intent as well as the worldly self-illusion. Under normal circumstances, Yu Tianqing of Yunxiao sect was definitely not his opponent. Chapter 464 Senior Brother and Junior Sister 1. However, Yu Tianqing had too many cards in his hand and was able to achieve victory just by using 2 talismans that the Yunxiao sect master gave. While the demon subduing pagoda was powerful, it was relative. It could subdue and slaughter any evil spirits in an instant. But when dealing with humans, its abilities were greatly reduced and naturally would not be as good as the array formation in a talisman that the Yunxiao sect master gave to Yu Tianqing. Yi Qingtang frowned deeply. Although she wanted to save this senior brother that she never met in her previous life, Yu Tianqing's skills were too powerful, and she would definitely not be able to defeat him even if she played all her cards. Moreover, even if she could defeat him, she did not dare to make a move rashly. No one knew how many cards Yu Tianqing still had on him, and if he took out another array formation in a talisman. Just as Yi Qingtang felt helpless with the situation, her eyes flickered. She opened Wuxiao World. Sight, her space ring, and her lips curled into a smile as she looked at the Yunxiao token inside the space ring. Then, she took out an ordinary blouse from the space ring and changed out from the dirty Xianling sect uniform. Since this top was tighter than the Xianling sect uniform, Yi Qingtang had the little lightning dragon shrink a little to hide it in her wide sleeves. After changing, Yi Qingtang immediately stood up and walked ahead in great strides. About 100 meters outside, Yu Tianqing suddenly looked over. "Whoever that is, do not come any farther," Yu Tianqing ordered coldly. "Is that senior brother Yu Tianqing ahead?" Yi Qingtang stopped walking and asked, "Who are you?" Yu Tianqing sized up Yi Qingtang and thought she was rather foreign. "It indeed is senior brother Yu." Yi Qingtang had an agitated expression. "Senior brother Yu, I am a Yunxiao sect disciple." Yu Tianqing was startled to hear that. This random girl who appeared from nowhere actually claimed to be a Yunxiao sect disciple? "You are a Yunxiao sect disciple? Why have I not seen you before?" Ji Xuan asked. "Ah," Yi Qingtang sighed. "Senior brother Yu, you are an inner sect disciple of Yunxiao sect while I'm only an outer sect disciple. Isn't it normal that you have not seen me before?" As Yi Qingtang said, Yunxiao sect had many outer sect disciples, and it was impossible for him to meet all of them before. Third heaven of martial qi level 2, Yu Tianqing pondered as he scanned Yi Qingtang. Yunxiao sect outer sect disciples were at least at the second heaven of martial qi level 2, while this girl was at the third heaven of martial qi level 2. There should not be any errors. "Why and what are you doing here?" Yu Tianqing questioned. From Yu Tianqing's behavior, Yi Qingtang knew that he was an extremely cautious person, and thus she was on full alert as well. She chuckled. "Senior brother Yu, I've been hiding in Wind Moon sect, and I just engulfed the spirit roots of a few genius disciples a few days ago, which allowed my spirit root to upgrade. Wuxiao World. Sight. Intended to return to the sect today, and did not expect to meet you here." Yu Tianqing's suspicions were slightly reduced upon hearing that. The sect sent quite a number of outer sect disciples to hide in the 3 sects to snatch the spirit roots of those genius disciples in order to strengthen themselves. While this was not a shocking secret in Yunxiao sect, it was not allowed to be divulged out, and there was no way others would know of it. However, half of Yu Tianqing's suspicions were gone, but another half remained. "Your spirit root just upgraded? Since that is the case, let me take a look then." As he spoke, Yu Tianqing leaped to Yi Qingtang's side while looking at her sharply. Chapter 465 Senior Brother and Junior Sister 2. Immediately, Yi Qingtang opened her palms and revealed her spirit root in front of Yu Tianqing cooperatively. Not bad. The aura of the spirit root indeed is that of one that has just upgraded. Yu Tianqing nodded. Before waiting for Yi Qingtang to say anything, Yu Tianqing frowned slightly. That's not right. The spirit root is only a yellow spirit root after an upgrade, which means that your previous spirit root is an orange spirit root. Senior brother Yu is right. I was an orange spirit root previously, Yi Qingtang said honestly and naturally. A cold glint flashed across Yu Tianqing's eyes when he heard her. Then, do you know that Yunxiao sect's criteria for accepting disciples is that they must at least be a green spirit root, so senior brother Yu is suspecting me. Yi Qingtang could not help but laugh. You're really overthinking, senior brother Yu. Who dares to pretend as a Yunxiao sect disciple in the formidable Heavens dynasty? Moreover, I was able to enter Yunxiao sect as an exception. Exception? You're talking rather big. Tell me what kind of exception that was then. Yu Tianqing's interest was stirred. A harmless smile hung on his lips, though a deep, murderous expression hid in the abyss of his eyes. All right, since you don't believe me, take a good look then. Yi Qingtang raised her arm and opened her palms. Swoosh! In a flash, a golden flame was dancing in Yi Qingtang's palm as though it was the spirit of fur. Looking at the golden flame in the palms of the stunning girl before him, Yu Tianqing showed a surprised look on his face. Paragon skill? Please read at Wuxia World. Sight only the ultimate origin skill had not appeared on this mainland for too long of a time, and there was not much difference between the ultimate origin skill and the paragon skill. As a result, Yu Tianqing mistook it, and Yi Qingtang was naturally confident of this. Understanding the paragon skill as a yellow spirit root is pretty good, but not enough for the sect to make an exception, Yu Tianqing mumbled. Senior brother Yu, are you sure? I understood the paragon skill as a yellow spirit root. Yi Qingtang's face was full of smiles. Oh, so you mean, then, there was a change in Yu Tianqing's expression. Yu Tianqing suddenly recalled that Yi Qingtang already revealed the aura of her spirit root earlier on, and although it was a yellow spirit root, it did upgrade not long ago. It was simply impossible for someone who had just upgraded to a yellow spirit root to understand the paragon skill in an instant. You understood the paragon skill as an orange spirit root? Yu Tianqing returned to his senses and looked at Yi Qingtang in disbelief. This girl had just upgraded to a yellow spirit root, and there was no way she understood the paragon skill as a yellow spirit root. This meant that she understood it as an orange spirit root. Senior brother Yu is intelligent. Exactly because of this, I was accepted into the sect as an exception, Yi Qingtang said with a chuckle. Yu Tianqing finally returned to his senses after a long while. Understanding the paragon skill as an orange spirit root. I've really not heard of it before. If that was the case, it is explainable why the sect made an exception. You should believe me already, right? Yi Qingtang smiled. No hurry. Yu Tianqing continued. Take out your Yunxiao token. Yunxiao token? Yi Qingtang was stunned. Why? As a Yunxiao sect disciple, did you not bring the Yunxiao token when you were out of the sect? Yu Tianqing asked. Why are you so distrustful, senior brother Yu? Why would I pretend to be a Yunxiao sect disciple for nothing? Yi Qingtang shook her head helplessly as she took out a token from her space ring. This token was made from a special material, and a mystical cloud was carved on it. It definitely would not be an imitation. It indeed is the Yunxiao token. After inspecting Yi Qingtang's token carefully, Yu Tianqing finally let down his guard completely. Chapter 466 Senior Brother and Junior Sister 3. Seeing that Yu Tianqing finally believed her fully, Yi Qingtang's lips curled up as a cold sneer filled the back of her eyes. She never expected this Yu Tianqing to be so cautious and distrustful. Fortunately, she searched the body of that disciple whom Yi Tianqiu killed and obtained this Yunxiao token. Huh? Junior sister, it is my nature to be distrustful. Please forgive me. Yu Tianqing laughed. Currently, Yu Tianqing had completely believed in Yi Qingtang's identity as a Yunxiao sect disciple. No worries. After all, I just entered Yinxiao's sect and am an outer sect disciple. It is understandable that you're suspicious of me since you haven't seen me before. Yi Qingtang replied. Noticing that Yu Tiancheng had let his guard down, Yi Qingtang suddenly looked at Ji Xuan and pretended to be surprised. Senior brother Yu, who is that? Why is he trapped in the array formation? Yu Tiancheng scoffed at that. The disciple of perfected Xianchen in Falling Sky Valley. As a citizen of Nine Knights Dynasty, he was so bold to come to the formidable Heavens Dynasty. Our sect had arranged spies in Falling Sky Valley, and they notified me of Ji Yixuan's route and motive of coming to the formidable Heavens Dynasty. Upon hearing Yu Tiancheng's words, Ji Yixuan, who was sealed in the array formation, frowned deeply. Had he not heard it for himself, he would definitely not believe that there were spies of Yinxiao sect in Falling Sky Valley. No wonder, Yi Qingtang pondered silently. She was wondering why Yinxiao sect would be so generous for a disciple to have this many remarkable talismans. So it was that Yinxiao sect master deliberately sent Yu Tiancheng to kill Ji Yixuan and thus handed him those array formations in a talisman. Otherwise, even if Yu Tiancheng was skilled, he was still lacking when facing a genius like Ji Yixuan. Yinxiao sect had prepared for all of this long ago. It was not out of luck that Ji Yixuan died in Yu Tiancheng's hands in her previous life. Yinxiao sect is so shameless to arrange spies in my Falling Sky Valley. Ji Yixuan criticized angrily as he withstood the force of destruction. How dare you? Before Yu Tiancheng said anything, Yi Qingtang suddenly sneered. Who do you think you are to insult Yinxiao sect? Junior sister, there's no need to waste your saliva on someone who is about to die, Yu Tiancheng said nonchalantly. Ji Yixuan was destined to be a dead man. What could he do even if he learned of everything? Oh right, senior brother Yu. What is this person's motive for coming to formidable Heavens Dynasty? Yi Qingtang wore an obedient expression as she looked at Yu Tiancheng curiously. Regeneration Stone. Yu Tiancheng did not hide anything as a white crystal floated in his palm. This item can renew the bones of a dying person. The days of Falling Sky Valley's old valley master are numbered, and he needs the regeneration stone to keep his life. What a pity that their calculations failed. The regeneration stone that Ji Yixuan used a Herculean effort to obtain is now in my hands. When I return to the sect and turn it in, it would definitely be a great merit. Senior brother Yu is indeed amazing. I am full of admiration. Yi Qingtang cupped her fists as she looked at him in adoration. Regeneration Stone. Ji Xuan realized that the regeneration stone, which he hid in a certain corner previously, was now in Yu Tiancheng's hands. It seems that there really are spies in my Falling Sky Valley. Otherwise, how would you be able to tail me for days and even find the place where hid the regeneration stone? Indignation filled Ji Yixuan's eyes. Visit Wuxia World. Site for this novel's latest chapters, he had no regrets even if he died there. But that regeneration stone was a life-saving item for the Old Valley Master. His master, an Old Valley Master, believed in him and entrusted this heavy responsibility to him, but he ultimately disappointed both of them. Chapter 467 Senior Brother and Junior Sister 4. Immediately, Ji Xuan fell on his knees and bowed in the southern direction where Falling Sky Valley was. He blamed himself fully, and even death was not enough to pay for his offense. Pride filled Yu Tiancheng's eyes as he watched Ji Xuan. After a while, he told Yi Qingtang, Junior sister, I will be here to watch Ji Xuan die. You can return to the sect to submit your mission first. All right. Be careful, senior brother Yu. Don't let this scumbag of Falling Sky Valley escape. Yi Qingtang agreed without hesitation and walked out the valley. However, Yi Qingtang suddenly stopped in her tracks halfway and looked at Yu Tiancheng with a frown. Senior brother Yu, I forgot about something. Earlier on in the valley, I saw Yi Tiancho, who is ranked 9 on the assassination roll. Wuxia World. Sight, Yi Tiancho. Yu Tiancheng was surprised. Yi Tiancho was rather skilled. He was already at the peak of the first heaven of martial Qi level 3 5 years ago, and was ranked 9 on the assassination roll. What was he doing here? Yu Qianqing was a little confused. I don't know about that. Yi Qingtang shook her head as she continued with a slight frown. Yi Tianqi's nasty reputation is widely known, and he is too skilled, so I did not dare to get close to him. However, I seem to have heard him mumbling something about the spirit life flower. Spirit life flower? Yu Qianqing's expression changed immediately. Senior sister Yi discovered the spirit life flower in this valley a long time ago, but it was not ripe yet at that time. Thus, Yi sent a junior brother to guard it. Once it matured, it was to be plucked and brought back to the sect for her. However, it had been days since the agreed timing for his return to the sect, and there was still no news of that junior brother. Before he came to the valley this time, Yu had specially ordered him to head into the valley and investigate what happened after settling the issue with the Falling Sky Valley disciple. Wuxia World. Site, Spirit Life Flower. Yi Tianqiu. Could it be? A glint flashed in Yu Tianqing's eyes. Junior sister, are you sure that he was Yi Tianqiu, and he mentioned the Spirit Life Flower? Yu Tianqing asked hurriedly. Yi Qingtang nodded extremely certainly. I've seen Yi Tianqi's portrait. I definitely will not identify him wrongly, and I did hear him talking about the Spirit Life Flower. This is bad. Yu Tianqing knew that there was trouble. The junior brother had not brought the Spirit Life Flower back to the sect after a long time, and it must have been closely related to Yi Tianqiu. Yu Tianqing was frantic at that moment, but the force of destruction had not completely exploded to kill Ji Xuan, and he could not move away. Senior brother Yu, what happened? Yi Qingtang asked. Yu Tianqing glimpsed at Yi Qingtang and said immediately, Junior sister, this is an urgent matter. They'll tell you the exact location of the Spirit Life Flower, and you are to go there to check. If you encounter Yi Tianqiu, kill him. Hoo-ha! Yi Qingtang was surprised and shook her head hurriedly after hearing Yu Tianqing. Senior brother Yu, I'm afraid I can't. You should be aware of Yi Tianqi's reputation. What is so scary about that? Yu Tianqing frowned, displeased. Senior brother Yu, Yi Tianqi's nickname is the Great Flower Thief. No one knows how many ladies he has insulted, not mentioning how I can't defeat him with my skills, even if I'm more powerful than him. I'm a girl, and I don't have the courage to. Yi Qingtang had an aggrieved expression. Humph! How can you have so many excuses as a Yunxiao sect disciple? Yu Tianqing was a little impatient. While he spoke disdainfully, deep down, he also felt that Yi Qingtang was not Yi Tianqi's opponent. If they acted rashly, alarmed the enemy, and let Yi Tianqiu escape instead, things would even be more troublesome. Chapter 468, Internal Strife. 1. Yu Tianqing replied immediately. Since that is the case, you will stay here to guard this array formation and Ji Xuan. There is a force of destruction from senior sister Yi Yu's blue spirit root. In a while, Ji Xuan will be nothing but bones. You don't need to do anything. Just don't let anyone come near and wait for me to return. All right. Rest assured, senior brother Yu. With me here, no one will be able to come near here. Yi Qingtang hurriedly agreed and nodded. At that moment, Yu Tianqing was burning with anxiety and immediately turned around to leave without explaining much to Yi Qingtang. At the same time, a loud bang sounded. Ji Xuan, who was sealed in the array formation, was astounded, and his jaws fell wide open. The moment Yu Tianqing turned around, Ji Xuan saw that the Yunxiao sect girl immediately turned hostile and slapped his back. Without surprise, Yu Tianqing's body flew out and knocked on a rock over 10 meters away. Boom! The rock crumbled into pieces from the impact. Yu Tianqing further caused several sturdy trees to fall and finally fell on the ground. Ow! Yu Tianqing's complexion was pale, and blood gushed out of his mouth. He looked at Yi Qingtang in disbelief. After saying just one word, Yu Tianqing spat another mouthful of blood again. Yi Qingtang looked at Yu Tianqing, who collapsed below a tall tree after being severely injured from just one move from her, and her lips curled up in a playful smile. She darted to where Yu Tianqing was swiftly. Yu Tianqing clenched his teeth, wanting to stand up, but that one slap from that girl utterly smashed all life in him, and all his vital organs were damaged. Who exactly are you? Yu Tianqing used all his energy to ask the devilishly stunning girl who had arrived before him. Senior Brother Yi, have you forgotten that you offended me before? The smile on her lips deepened as she looked at Yu Tianqing's twisted expression. Other than today, I've never seen you before at all, Yu Tianqing said between pants. He was in a hurry to leave just now and did not guard against this girl at all. Who would have thought that she would launch a sneak attack from behind him and attack his gate of vitality? You are not a Yunxiao sect disciple. Yu Tianqing was not foolish. He was so cautious, but there was still a slip. However, what replied him was the demonic blood sword that had already been drawn out of its scabbard. Swoosh! The demonic blood sword waved in Yi Qingtang's hand. A blood-colored sword shadow emerged and pierced through Yu Tianqing's chest. In just a moment, Yu Tianqing stared disbelievingly at the demonic blood sword that was pierced in his chest and watched blood spatter out from the wound. I don't like to builshit with a dead person. Yi Qingtang looked at the pale Yu Tianqing from a commanding position. She suddenly withdrew her demonic blood sword out and flicked her wrist for the blood on the sword to fall off. Indignation was written all over Yu Tianqing's face. Even when he died, he still did not understand what exactly happened. Looking at Yu Tianqing, who had already stopped breathing, Yi Qingtang bent down and took his space ring away without hesitation. At that instant, Ji Yixuan was flabbergasted. He only saw Yi Qingtang suddenly attacking Yu Tianqing previously, and the two of them flew over 10 meters away. He could not hear what they said afterward and only witnessed Yu Tianqing being killed by Yi Qingtang. They were both Yunxiao sect disciples. Yet why would Yu Tianqing be killed by another Yunxiao sect disciple? Could it be that the two of them had an internal strife? Ji Yixuan was extremely puzzled. Chapter 469, Internal Strife? 2. After Yu Tianqing died, Yi Qingtang waved an arm over him, and a golden flame burned him completely into nothing. Then Yi Qingtang turned around and sprinted to Ji Yixuan. Looking at the stunned Ji Yixuan, Yi Qingtang walked forward and asked, Ji Yixuan, do you wish to escape from the array formations? Wuxia World. Sight Ji Yixuan frowned slightly at that. There were no emotions as he looked at the young girl who killed her fellow sect disciple. So what if I wished to or not? Would you all, Yunxiao sect disciples, would let me off? Yi Qingtang could not help but laugh and shake her head as she saw how Ji Yixuan was still so cold. So you think that Yu Tianqing and I had an internal strife and that I killed him? Isn't I? Ji Yixuan's brows were furrowed. The supposed sect ties were nothing compared to how some disciples bred enmity between each other and secretly struck when they were out of the sect. Yi Qingtang looked at Ji Yixuan, who stood there helplessly, and an evil smile flashed across her eyes. Then she nodded and said, yes, you guessed it right. Jay have an internal strife with Yu Tianqing. Yu Tianqing has the regeneration stone and even a Dharma treasure, demon-subduing pagoda. When I kill him, these items are naturally mine. Ah! Ji Yixuan stared at Yi Qingtang and scoffed. Do you think that Yunxiao sect would not realize it when you kill Yu Tianqing? If they find out, Yunxiao sect would naturally not let you off, and Falling Sky Valley would not let you off since you obtained the demon-subduing pagoda. You don't have to worry, Ji Yixuan. You're already someone who is about to die. Don't waste any more saliva talking. Just take a look at this world for the last time. Yi Qingtang shrugged slightly and left directly without being concerned about what Ji Yixuan said. As Ji Yixuan watched Yi Qingtang leave, Ji Yixuan slowly shut his eyes as the breath of destruction intensified gradually. However, right at that moment, swoosh, the shadow of a demonic blood sword emerged. The demonic blood sword in Yi Qingtang's hand shot past and knocked on the array formation hardly. This array formation in a talisman was difficult to break from the inside, but if attacked from the outside, it was relatively simple to break it. Swoosh! As Yi Qingtang's sword landed, there was a sound of broken glass in the sealed array formation. Almost instinctively, Ji Yixuan fled from the broken array formation instantly. A few breaths later, Ji Yishuan looked at Yi Qingtang in disbelief. This Yunxiao sect disciple actually cracked the array formation and allowed him to escape? Why did you do this? Ji Yishuan had a confused expression. Even if Yunxiao sect disciples fought internally, this girl launched a sneak attack and killed Yu Tianqing, but should not have released him. You're indeed the same as what Master described. How boring. Yi Qingtang tilted her head as she scanned Ji Yishuan up and down. Master. What do you mean? Confusion filled Ji Yishuan. I was just joking with you just now. I'm not a Yunxiao sect disciple, Yi Qingtang said honestly. Really? Ji Yishuan frowned. Otherwise, why would I save you? Yi Qingtang chuckled. Ji Yishuan was at a loss of words at that moment. Ji Yishuan initially thought that he would die without a doubt today. Yet unexpectedly, a random girl of an unknown origin saved him. And even Yu Tianqing, that small disciple of Yunxiao sect master, was tricked and killed by her. Hurry back to your sect and submit your mission. Yi Qingtang took the regeneration stone from Yu Tianqing and tossed it to Ji Yishuan without hesitation. Chapter 470 Internal Strife 3. After receiving the regeneration stone, Yi Qingtang spoke again without waiting for Ji Yishuan to speak. In your demon-subduing pagoda. Then, Yi Qingtang tossed the demon-subduing pagoda that she found on Yu Tianqing's body to Ji Yishuan. Looking at the regeneration stone and demon-subduing pagoda that he regained, Ji Yishuan was a little dumbfounded in a moment. Not only did he survive from an ultimate death situation, but even the demon-subduing pagoda and regeneration stone were back in his hands. Who exactly are you? Ji Yishuan looked up suddenly and at the alluring teen girl before him in surprise. Regardless of whether it was the regeneration stone or demon-subduing pagoda, both were mystic treasures. Even if this girl was not a Yunxiao sect disciple, these two items were an extremely huge temptation to anyone. But this girl actually returned them to him just like that. Who I am is not important. What is important is that you are not dead and did not lose the regeneration stone and the demon-subduing pagoda. Afterward, Yi Qingtang turned around and left. I am Ji Yishuan of Falling Sky Valley. May I ask for your name, please? I will definitely return your great kindness today. Ji Yishuan said hurriedly as he watched Yi Qingtang leave. Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang, Ji Yishuan mumbled, as though he had never heard of this name before. Thank you, Lady Yi, Ji Yishuan said to the distance without knowing whether Yi Qingtang could hear. On the other hand, Yi Qingtang had already walked far away at that moment. Yunxiao sect lost 2 disciples, and one of them was even the sect master's disciple. Not long later, Yunxiao sect would probably organize a search. Because of the influence of her ultimate origin skill, the force of the primordial qi in her body had turned gold and was exceptionally striking. Read only at Wuxia World. Site to prevent complications. Yi Qingtang chose to return to the sect by feet instead of continuing to use the feather formation technique. With Yi Qingtang's speed, she would take about at least a few days to walk back to Quanling's sect. Throughout the journey, Yi Qingtang passed by a city and used her remaining gold to purchase a horse as a mean of transportation. 2 days later, Yi Qingtang passed by a mausoleum on her journey back. An elderly was guarding outside the mausoleum. His hair was gray, and he seemed to be old from his appearance. However, once the horse crossed paths with the elderly who was blocking their way, its body stiffened and did not move no matter how Yi Qingtang whipped it, as though it became a statue. That's strange. Yi Qingtang looked at the horse below her and frowned. Little girl, this road is not open. You should take another route. The elderly, with seemingly cloudy eyes, radiated an unknowing glow as he smiled at Yi Qingtang. Take another route? Yi Qingtang was surprised. This mausoleum was a shortcut to Xinling's sect, and she would take at least one more day if she changed her route. I have sealed this area. It is wiser for you to continue your journey with another route, said the elderly with a laugh. You have sealed it? Yi Qingtang looked at the elderly. What big talk? This area has been deserted for hundreds of years, and there's no owner. Is it sealed just because you said it? There was a feasible shortcut right there, but she was asked to take another route. How would Yi Qingtang agree to this? Nonetheless, the elderly was not bothered by her words and remained smiling. I sealed this area in order to save the lives of you ignorant people. Just listen to what this old man says. Take another route and leave quickly. Before Yi Qingtang said anything else, a terrifying, imposing aura spread out from the inside of the mausoleum. In almost the blink of an eye, this frightening aura enshrouded the surroundings. Read only at Wuxia World. Site. Chapter 471 Worshipper of the Blood Moon Sect 1. Yi Qingtang's breath almost stopped under such an outrageous aura. She felt that her heart was held by an invisible hand. Such terrifying aura, Yi Qingtang's face was filled with astonishment. She looked towards the mausoleum and wondered who the horrifying person inside was. At that moment, the elder sneered and said, "Finally, you can't bear with it anymore? You want to escape now?" A cold humph came out of the mausoleum at the same time. A streak of silver light rushed out of the mausoleum and flew away. The elder's eyes sparkled as he saw the silver light. He laughed scornfully. Want to escape? The elder did not bother to look at Yi Qingtang, and a cyan sword flew from his waist. The elder stepped onto the sword and flew into the clouds. The horse's stiff body slightly relaxed after an hour. It was so frightened, and it howled. Yi Qingtang could only use her primordial qi to comfort it. Yi Qingtang frowned. The silver shadow that flew out from the mausoleum had an extremely terrifying aura, and the elder, who seemed to be an ordinary person, was surprisingly a strong person. No wonder the elder did not allow her to walk through the mausoleum and asked her to make a detour. WXIAWORLD. SITE Yi Qingtang stared at the mausoleum and immersed herself in deep thought. Though the elder had left with the silver shadow, Yi Qingtang still decided to make a detour. The intense aura had yet dispersed from the mausoleum, and her horse definitely could not walk through. After a while, Yi Qingtang rode the horse and detoured. Yi Qingtang sat on the horse, and her hand was holding a space ring. She acquired the space ring from Yu Tiancheng after the assassination. There was great primordial power sealed inside the space ring. Besides Yu Tiancheng, it was difficult for others to access it. During the 2 days, Yi Qingtang used her own primordial GI to erode Yu Tiancheng's primordial power. After a while, joy filled her eyes. "That's it," Yi Qingtang murmured, and her face was filled with joy. Though Yu Tiancheng's primordial qi was strong, Yi Qingtang's primordial qi was affected by the ultimate origin skill and had some kind of mutation. It was mixed with a flame aura that could destroy and erode Yu Tiancheng's space ring. After neutralizing the sealing power, Yi Qingtang immediately looked into the space ring. Yu Tiancheng's space ring contained a black sword and some random stuff. Just a sword. Yi Qingtang frowned. She thought that as the Yunshao sect disciple, he must have stored some precious stuff inside the space ring. Wuxia World. Saichi did not expect there to be only one weapon inside. Yi Qingtang took out the black sword. When she held the sword in her hand, the coldness she felt was like pure ice. The quality is still okay. Yi Qingtang contemplated for a while. The sword's quality was even higher than her demonic blood sword. Martial weapons quality was classified with Heaven, Earth, Black, and Yellow grades. The Heaven grade was the strongest divine weapons. The Earth grade was slightly lower. The Black grade was the spirit weapons, and the Yellow grade was the most inferior ones. In most of the sects, the Xinling sect for example, the outer sect disciples' weapons were ordinary weapons. Yellow grade weapons were considered rare, and Yi Qingtang's demonic blood sword belonged to the Yellow grade. Chapter 472 Worshipper of the Blood Moon Sect 2. Yu Tiancheng's black sword ranked among superior yellow grade weapons. Though the quality of the black sword was not bad, Yi Qingtang did not plan to use it or sell it at an auction. As a Yunshao sect disciple, many people might recognize Yu Tiancheng's sword. If she was seen using the sword, there would be adverse consequences. It took great effort for her to kill the enemy of her previous life, but she did not expect that the only thing she gained was a yellow-grade sword that she could not use in public. Soon, Yi Qingtang started looking through the random stuff inside the space ring. Talisman? Yi Qingtang was delighted. There were a few of the Yinshao sect master's talismans in the random stuff. Yi Qingtang immediately took out the talismans. Each talisman contained a terrifying aura. These are the things that I need the most now. Yi Qingtang's lips curled, and she placed the sword and the talismans into her space ring. Boom! Just when Yi Qingtang was studied with her gains, a shadow flashed at a few hundred meters away suddenly. The shadow then fell to the ground, and there was a huge impact that seemed like it could shake the core of the earth. A cloud of dust was spinning in the wind, and the entire view was covered by the dust. Yi Qingtang was stunned and looked up at the void instinctively. What is that? It seems that it dropped from the sky. The impact of the force created a huge hole on the ground that was about 10 feet deep and 10 feet wide. Yi Qingtang was stunned. If her horse's speed was slightly faster just now, the thing that dropped from the sky might have her directly. If she were hit, the force would definitely kill her directly without any doubt. So, today, she was almost killed by the unexpected misfortune. Yi Qingtang came down from the horse, and she slowly walked towards the hole curiously. Yi Qingtang was totally shocked. There was a handsome young man lying in the hole. The red robe that the man wore was broken into pieces, and his silver hair scattered around his waist. There was a blood moon at his glabella that appeared to be heretic. Blood moon? Yi Qingtang was stunned as she remembered the same symbol that she saw on the Blood Moon Sect Elder. However, the one on Blood Moon Sect Elder was dark red. The blood moon on this man was redder. Only people at the position of master and above in the Blood Moon Sect would have the Blood Moon symbol. The man in front of her was very young, and there was no heretic aura like the one on the Blood Moon Sect Elder. If he took over someone's body, however, the Blood Moon Sect Elder's blood moon disappeared after taking over another's body. Or was this person a worshiper of the Blood Moon Sect? Yi Qingtang could not figure out the identity of the person. Even though the fall of the Blood Moon Sect happened long ago, the rumors were still spreading around. There were rumors saying that some were obsessed with the Blood Moon Sect and that they imitated them. Yi Qingtang guessed that this man might be one of the imitators. Did this guy fall off from the sky? Yi Qingtang raised her head and looked into the sky again. Chapter 473 Worshipper of the Blood Moon Sect 3. Such a terrifying strength of the body. Normal people would definitely be crushed into pieces under such force. Yi Qingtang stared at the man with silver hair in the hole. Yi Qingtang was very sure that the guy had passed away. Though she was still curious, she did not want to be involved in the trouble and decided to leave. However, when she was about to turn away, her sight landed on the red space ring on the man's finger. Yi Qingtang jumped into the hole immediately and walked towards the man. Since you have passed away, the things inside the space ring will be useless for you. How about I keep them for you? I will definitely bury your body nicely in return. Yi Qingtang smiled and said, you did not object. Then can I assume that you agreed? Thank you so much. Yi Qingtang murmured to herself. She then squatted down and was about to take away his space ring. However, pow! The man who had no breath or movement at all suddenly held Yi Qingtang's hand. Yi Qingtang used all her strength trying to escape. However, to her surprise, the man's palm was like a huge mountain that restrained her. No matter how she struggled, she could not pull her hand away. You're not dead? Then it's a misunderstanding. I thought that you had passed away, so if I offended you in any way, please understand. Yi Qingtang explained immediately. Yi Qingtang then looked at the man again. The man's eyes were closed, but there was a breath coming out of his body. He is still in a coma? Yi Qingtang sighed as she thought that the man was awake and angry with her action. Yi Qingtang then realized that she worried too much. The handsome man with silver hair did not seem to revive. Yi Qingtang sized up the man as he was still in a coma. The person did not die under such force that could crush a hole on the ground. He did not even have any injuries on his body. Yi Qingtang was astonished. The man's strength was too strong to imagine. Yi Qingtang did not intend to take his space ring anymore, since the man did not die. Yi Qingtang liked to take things from her enemies as she won them over. However, she would never target anything from a stranger, even if they were extremely rare and precious. She would never take anything that did not belong to her. Just now, Yi Qingtang thought that the guy had passed away and guessed that there were treasures inside her space ring. She did not want the treasures to be wasted, and that was why she had the intention to take them over. Yi Qingtang could only sigh as she could not escape from the man's grip, though he was still in a coma. Yi Qingtang dragged the man out of the hole. Suddenly, the hand that was holding Yi Qingtang released her. Yi Qingtang took a few steps back after her hand was freed. "We are just strangers, so I shall leave now." Yi Qingtang turned and decided to walk away. Chapter 474 Older Sister 1. She returned after taking a few steps. The man was extremely weak now, and any cultivator could kill him easily. Yi Qingtang contemplated for a while and thought that it was not very appropriate to just leave. "Okay. Anyway, it was my fault to have the intention of taking away your space ring. As compensation, I will guard you until you wake up." Yi Qingtang sat down beside the man. Yi Qingtang then took out some healing medicine from her space ring that she brought from the sect. She then poured them into the man's mouth. Yi Qingtang took some clean water and fed him as she saw that the man's mouth was dry. Yi Qingtang took care of the man for about 2 days. There was finally some color on his face. The blood moon at the glabella was more obvious. Yi Qingtang was too exhausted and decided to take a nap. However, the nap lasted for a couple of hours. On the morning of the 3rd day, Yi Qingtang opened her eyes slowly. However, her eyes met with a pair of eyes that were so indifferent and cold. The man with silver hair woke up when she was sleeping. He stared at Yi Qingtang. "You saved me," the man said with a cold voice before Yi Qingtang could speak. "Yes, I saw that you fell from the sky. I was curious and noticed that you were not dead, so..." Yi Qingtang hid the part that she was interested in his space ring naturally. The man sized up her for a while until she felt nervous from the stare. "Thank you, Wuxia World." "Sight, you're welcome. But you woke up really fast." Yi Qingtang got up and was still surprised. His injury was so severe that none of his organs were functioning. However, he only took 3 days to revive. "Yes," the man answered coldly. "How did you fall from the sky?" Yi Qingtang asked the question that had bothered her for a few days. There was a strange luster sparkling from the blood moon as he heard the question. "If you're not willing to say, then it's okay." Yi Qingtang knew that the question was slightly offensive. "It's okay. I was fleeing from murder," the man said in a monotone. Yi Qingtang was very sensitive towards the words, "flee from murder." She had fled from murder for 300 years in her previous life. Even when she reached the Paragon level, there were still countless of people trying to kill her every day. She lived every day in fear, and the feeling was definitely not pleasant. "Who was trying to kill you?" Yi Qingtang probed. Did the man also offend the super sex in the formidable Heavens dynasty? She observed the man and could not figure out his martial ability. Based on his horrifying body strength, it was difficult for normal sex to kill him. So, maybe it was the super sections. The ultimate elder. Who? Yi Qingtang was shocked and thought that she heard the name wrong. The ultimate elder. The man was expressionless and repeated himself. The ultimate elder. Yi Qingtang laughed when she was sure that she heard the name correctly. The ultimate elder had not appeared for many years. No one even knows whether he is dead or alive. How could he chase after you? You think that you are the Blood Moon Sect Lord? Yes, the man said indifferently. Who are your? Yi Qingtang thought that she heard the wrong thing again. What's your world? Sigh. Chapter 475 Older Sister 2. You are the Lord of the Blood Moon Sect? Then I say, in the pagoda, Sword Master, do you believe me? Yi Qingtang tried not to laugh. No, the man still replied coldly. Yi Qingtang felt a headache as she stared at the imitated blood moon at the man's glabella. How obsessed was the man towards the Blood Moon sect? He could choose to pretend to be anyone, but he had to call himself the supreme Blood Moon sect lord. Wuxia World D, sight though Yi Qingtang had never met the real Blood Moon lord. She had seen the Blood Moon on the Blood Moon sect elder's glabella. Obviously, it was different from the one at the man's glabella. When the ability of a cultivator had reached a certain level, one would be able to freeze their appearance and remain in their youth forever. However, during the peak period, the Blood Moon Lord was as famous as the Pagoda Sword Master and the Ultimate Elder. Rumors said that they were dead for at least 1,000 years. No wonder someone tried to chase and kill you. Yi Qingtang mocked him. It was possible that his lie was too extreme and that offended the super sections. If Yi Qingtang also claimed that she was the Blood Moon Lord to everyone she met, people would definitely chase after her and try to murder her. The man with silver hair did not want to argue with Yi Qingtang. You saved me. What do you want in return? What do I want? Yi Qingtang was puzzled. Something in return? I want 100 superior grade spirit stones. Do you have them? Yi Qingtang smiled. Not now. The man thought for a while and then shook his head. Then, how are you going to pay me back? Yi Qingtang asked. I will accept you as my disciple, the man with silver hair said. I think that's not necessary. Yi Qingtang twitched her mouth. Such a young man also wanted to be her master. That was not paying back, but taking advantage of her. Are you too used to lying? I become your disciple? Do you really think that you are the Blood Moon Lord? Yi Qingtang was trying to make fun of him. How about this? Since you were also fleeing from murder, and so did I, shall we become sworn brothers? Yi Qingtang smiled and said, Brothers? The man frowned as he had never imagined that someone dared to pledge brotherhood with him. I was taking care of you for the past few days. So, I'm the older sister, and you will be the younger brother. Yi Qingtang's face was extremely serious. It seemed that he had not agreed to pledge brotherhood with the girl. What? Just now you still said that you want to pay me back. Since you don't have 100 superior grade spirit stones, and you're not willing to pledge, just leave. I don't want to see you anymore. Yi Qingtang waved her hand. Pledge, the man said. Wuxia World. Sight good? Yi Qingtang nodded her head. Soon, the pledging process was completed, and Yi Qingtang wanted to ask about the details of the man. Take it. The man took out a red token from his space ring and threw it to Yi Qingtang. His hand gently touched her forehead. The moment his palm touched her skin, a blood moon sparkled at her glabella. Yi Qingtang did not notice anything as she was holding the token and trying to figure out what that was for. Brother, what is this? However, there was no reply. When Yi Qingtang lifted her head and glanced around, her sworn brother had long disappeared. Brother, you haven't told me your real identity. Yi Qingtang gritted her teeth. If she knew that her brother was so not reliable, she would not even take the pledge. She saved him and even took care of him for 3 days. She eventually ended up with a token of no use. Chapter 476 Ningluo 1. Yi Qingtang shook her head. She originally wanted to throw this unknown token away, but ultimately placed it in her space ring to return to him when she met him next time. Then, Yi Qingtang got on her horse and left the area. It had already been near half a month since Xianling's sect headed for Drifting Cloud Island, and it had been days since Elder Mo brought Fu Lingtian back to the sect, though it was still unknown whether the Yunxiao sect spy in Xianling's sect was found. Yi Qingtang rode to Xianling's sect at top speed. Deep down, Yi Qingtang did not wish for Xianling's sect to find out the truth, as Yunxiao's sect would definitely not leave the matter at that. At that instant, Yi Qingtang was rather frustrated. If only she killed Fu Lingtian immediately back when he barged into her room on Drifting Cloud Island, then perhaps the subsequent events would not happen. However, Yi Qingtang did not think that Elder Mo was guarding in the area because of her breakthrough and would rush in immediately, catching Fu Lingtian and causing her to not have the chance to kill him. Wuxia World. Sight Yi Qingtang was deep in thought at that moment. If Xianling's sect had not been able to find the spy, it may be a good idea for her to kill Fu Lingtian without anyone knowing when she returned to the sect. However, if Xianling's sect already discovered the spy hiding in the sect, at that thought, Yi Qingtang frowned, and an inauspicious feeling filled her heart. Although Xianling sect was one of the 3 sects of Formidable Heavens dynasty and had a pretty good background, it was too weak when compared to super sects like Yunxiao sect. If Yunxiao sect had the heart to exterminate Xianling sect, it was in actuality not difficult. The happenings in her previous life had already proven this point. As Yi Qingtang pondered, there were fighting and shouting sounds ahead, and one of the voices seemed to be familiar to Yi Qingtang. Qin Huan. Yi Qingtang was slightly surprised. If that voice did not belong to Qin Huan, who else could it be? Immediately, Yi Qingtang raced forward. About 200 meters away, several Xianling sect disciples surrounded a young man. The young man's lips curled as he glimpsed across the Xianling sect disciples nonchalantly. "How daring of you all to encircle me!" The young man sneered. "PFT." Qin Huan spat immediately. He was just accepted into the inner sect as an exception, as an inner sect elder regarded him highly. Yet he encountered such an incident the moment he entered the inner sect. Before Fu Lingtian was interrogated properly, he was killed by Ning Luo. "Ning Luo, you betrayer! Fu Lingtian is a serious offender, but you infiltrated in the night and killed him." "Oh!" Ning Luo snickered coldly. "Since Fu Lingtian committed a serious offense, is there anything wrong for me to kill him?" Qin Huan scoffed coldly. He was not dumb either. "Ning Luo, that's simply a fallacious argument. That Fu Lingtian knows the spy in Xianling sect, but you sneaked into the Hall of Justice and killed him. It clearly is because you have a guilty conscience and thus silenced him before fleeing the sect. This is absconding to avoid punishment. Qin Huan, you have just entered the inner sect but don't know anything about seniority. How dare you talk to your senior brother like this?" Ning Luo laughed. "Senior brother Ning Luo, it's better to return to the sect with us and explain this matter clearly." Zhu Chang'e, who was beside Qin Huan, frowned tightly as he wielded a sword in his hand. "Wuxia world." Sight Ning Luo was the disciple that Elder Lin was the proudest of, while Zhu Chang'e was also Elder Lin's disciple. They were originally extremely close senior and junior brothers, yet unexpectedly, they had to fight each other today. Chapter 477 Ning Luo, 2. Chang'e, you're my junior brother. Could it be that even you don't believe me? Ning Luo asked in surprise as he looked at Zhu Chang'e. "Senior brother Ning Luo, it is not that I don't believe you, but it is true that you sneaked into the Hall of Justice yesterday night to kill Fu Lingtian, and you even fled the sect afterward. The sect master is extremely infuriated right now and has sent hundreds of inner sect disciples out to bring you back to the sect. It is difficult for me to defy a sect order. Please do not resist and return to the sect with us to explain this matter clearly, senior brother Ning." Zhu Chang'e did not wish to attack Ning Luo, whose skills were way above his. Moreover, they were disciples of the same master. However, sect orders could not be deft. If Ning Luo stubbornly resisted, he could only strike. "Senior brother Zhu, you don't need to talk any more crap with him. With things as such, can't you tell yet? This Ning Luo is the spy in Xianling sect that Fu Lingtian was talking about." Qin Huan said sternly. "Wuxia world." "Sight, that's right." Another inner sect disciple nodded. Junior brother Qin Huan did not say anything wrong. Fu Lingtian knows that Ning Luo is the spy, and Ning Luo was afraid that Fu Lingtian would divulge his identity. Thus, he took the risk to infiltrate the Hall of Justice and silence Fu Lingtian while the wardens were not prepared. Afterward, he was afraid that things would be revealed, so he fled Xianling sect. The other inner sect disciples arrived at the same conclusion after thinking through it carefully. "Ning Luo, either you return to the sect with us or don't blame us for ignoring the sect ties and burying you here," Qin Huan shouted, enraged. At that moment, Ning Luo's lips tugged up into an icy cold smile. In his eyes, these few Xianling sect inner sect disciples were merely ants. "You overestimated your capabilities." Immediately, Ning Luo raised a hand, and a frightening martial aura filled the air. The Xianling sect disciples, including Qin Huan and Zhu Chang'e, had astounded expressions and were in disbelief. Under Ning Luo's shocking martial oppression, the Xianling sect disciples broke out in cold sweat, which fell like raindrops. Some even had difficulties breathing, and their faces were flushed. In at most a few breaths' time, blood seeped out from the corners of their lips while their complexions were ghastly white. Martial Qi, Level 3. First Heaven. Zhu Chang's heart raced wildly. Never had he expected Ning Luo to be hiding his cultivation realm, and that his true skills had already entered Martial Qi Level 3. Martial Qi Level 3 was almost on par with the inner sect elders, and inner sect disciples like them simply would not be able to withstand the overbearing oppression of someone at Martial Qi Level 3. Boom! One of the disciples spat out a mouthful of blood, and no longer able to bear this frightening martial oppression, he was flung several hundred meters away. Whiz! Yi Qingtang was still on the horse, but noticed an unknown shadow crashing towards here. Another victim of natural and man-made calamities? Yi Qingtang grabbed that shadow almost instinctively. When Yi Qingtang returned to her senses, she realized that she was holding onto a person in her hands. Where did you fly here from? Yi Qingtang was curious. She had already witnessed 2 such cases over the past few days, and it was good that she was agile this time and reacted swiftly. Yi Qingtang. The Xianling sect disciple who was lifted by Yi Qingtang had a surprised expression. Fortunately, Yi Qingtang, who appeared from nowhere, caught him. Otherwise, he would definitely be severely injured. Chapter 478 Ning Luo 3. Very quickly, Yi Qingtang placed the disciple down and asked, "What happened?" This Xianling sect did not hide anything and recounted the incident in the fastest speed possible. Ning Luo? Yi Qingtang was in thought. From what he said, Ning Luo had already silenced Fu Lingtian yesterday night. Perhaps others were not aware, but Yi Qingtang was certain that Ning Luo was definitely a Yunxiao sect disciple. Back then, Yi Qingtang learned from the Zhou brothers that Ning Luo, whom she had never seen before, wanted to take her life. Yi Qingtang was very certain that she had never met Ning Luo nor offended Ning Luo before. If Ning Luo, a Yunxiao sect disciple, wanted to get rid of her in Xianling sect, it would definitely be Yi Yu's orders, and everything made sense then. Go, bring me there. Yi Qingtang looked at the Xianling sect disciple beside her. She had to kill Ning Luo in the shortest time possible. Then, Yunxiao sect would not know that Xianling sect had found out their secret, and perhaps Xianling sect could be saved. Junior Sister Yi, it's better for us to leave. The Xianling sect disciple was panic-stricken. Let's hurry back to the sect and get reinforcements. If the 2 of us go back now, it is simply courting death. Did you know that Ning Luo has been concealing his cultivation skills all this time in Xianling sect? He has already entered the first heaven of Martial Qi Level 3. At this instant, fear was written all over the Xianling sect disciple's face. Wuxia World Sight Ning Luo had only used the martial aura, and the several inner sect disciples already could not fight back. Ning Luo's skills were definitely not weaker than the sect elders and had surpassed inner sect disciples like them. After hearing that, Yi Qingtang was completely sure that Ning Luo was a Yunxiao sect disciple. Martial Qi Level 3 was the level of a Yunxiao sect inner sect disciple, but that of an elder in Xianling sect. You're scared? Yi Qingtang frowned. Scared? Who said I'm scared? The Xianling sect disciple continued. I only wanted to return to the sect to call for reinforcement. Otherwise, it will really be too late. The other senior and junior brothers would definitely die in his hands. Since that's the case, let's leave then. I am the reinforcement, Yi Qingtang said. Junior Sister Yi, don't force yourself at this critical juncture. Did I not say it clearly enough? Ning Luo is at Martial Qi Level 3. This Xianling sect disciple thought that he had not explained Ning Luo's skills clearly and was afraid that Yi Qingtang misunderstood. Long-winded, Yi Qingtang leaped up her horse, grabbed the Xianling sect disciple, and headed forward. In at most a few breaths' time, Yi Qingtang arrived at the forest. The moment she entered the forest, Yi Qingtang saw a few shadows being flung out. Yi Qingtang swiftly moved and caught those figures at the speed of lightning. Junior Sister Yi? When the few people stood properly and saw that it was Yi Qingtang, Zhu Chang'e had a surprised expression. A few days ago, they searched for Yi Qingtang on Drifting Cloud Island for 2 days, but still could not find her, and helplessly, Elder Qin could only return to the sect in the end. He never expected that Yi Qingtang, who had been missing for days, would actually appear here. Junior Sister Yi, why are you here? Qin Huan had an astonished look. It was already hard for them to protect themselves against Ning Luo, yet where did Yi Qingtang appear from a join-in? Was she not afraid of dying? Ah! Ning Luo looked at Yi Qingtang, who was not far away, and his lips curled up. Earlier on, I still found it a pity that I could not complete Senior Sister Yi Yu's orders. Yi Qingtang, you're really thoughtful to send yourself here, because you're afraid I would have regrets. Chapter 479 Head-to-Head Battle 1. Oh, is it? Yi Qingtang had no fear when facing Ning Luo. Yi Qingtang was about to strike a move, but a figure suddenly stood before her. Qin Huan did not know who the Yi Yu Ning Luo mentioned was, but immediately blocked in front of Yi Qingtang when he saw that Ning Luo was about to harm Yi Qingtang. Junior Sister Yi, escape now. It'll help to stall this betrayer. Yi Qingtang thought to herself. What the heck? Can you move away first? Yi Qingtang asked with a frown. Junior Sister Yi, ignore us and leave. Ning Luo is too strong, and we can't hold him any longer even with combined forces. Qin Huan said hurriedly as he saw that Ning Luo wanted to kill Yi Qingtang. Move away! Yi Qingtang lifted her foot and kicked Qin Huan to his side. Her words fell on deaf ears, and she was forced to be violent. Junior Sister Yi, what are you? Qin Huan was appalled. Why did she kick him for nothing? However, before Qin Huan finished his sentence, he noticed that Yi Qingtang had already disappeared with only a slight trace of her shadow at the original spot. Clank! Yi Qingtang drew the demonic blood sword out of its scabbard and slashed down firstly. Swoosh! Immediately, the demonic blood sword was like an enormous beast that wanted to devour Ning Luo. Ning Luo's smile froze, and a disbelieving shock twinkled in his eyes as he felt Yi Qingtang's aura from that one move. He still remembered that Yi Qingtang had just entered Xianling's sect, and it had only been a while since she passed the intersect assessment. The top intersect disciples in Xianling's sect were only at the first heaven of martial qi level 2, but Yi Qingtang was already at the third heaven of martial qi level 2. Ning Luo swept the shocked expression in his eyes away rapidly. No matter what miracle this girl encountered, she was, after all, at martial qi level 2, and it would only take a moment for him to kill her. However, Ning Luo realized he was wrong very quickly. He almost could not block the sword aura that Yi Qingtang casually slashed towards him. After being forced a few steps back by the demonic blood sword's sword aura, Ning Luo finally used all his strength to expel the aura. Ning Luo narrowed his eyes at Yi Qingtang immediately, unable to comprehend what happened. This girl was only an ordinary inner sect disciple in Xianling's sect. How could she possess such strong skills? Currently, even those inner sect elders of Xianling's sect might not be Yi Qingtang's opponent. Qin Huan, Zhu Chang'e, and the other disciples were completely dumbfounded when they saw that Yi Qingtang pushed Ning Luo back a few steps with just one move. The intersect disciple who brought Yi Qingtang to the scene, especially, was utterly astonished. He finally understood what Yi Qingtang meant when she said she was their savior earlier on. Third heaven of martial qi level 2. Am I dreaming? Qin Huan thought it was unrealistic as time passed. Yi Qingtang and he were both outer sect disciples of Xianling's sect initially. Although Yi Qingtang displayed outstanding martial gifts and placed first in the outer sect, allowing her to enter the inner sect, it was still impossible for her to break through to the third heaven of martial qi level 3 in such a short time. Ning Luo looked at Yi Qingtang at that moment and scoffed. I was still wondering why, Senior Sister Yi, you wanted me to kill an ant like Xianling's sect disciple. So you're not an ordinary person as well. However, it is not in vain that you could make Senior Sister Yi Yu to be concerned about you, given your status. Yi Yu was the holy lady of Yunxiao sect, and a possessor of a blue spirit root. Although the number of cultivators with green spirit roots on this mainland was not a small number, blue spirit roots were unusually rare, and there was hardly one out of a million people. Chapter 480 Head-to-Head Battle 2. Although a green spirit root was only one grade lower than a blue spirit root, there was a world of differences in this one grade. It was known by everyone that blue spirit roots could absorb the spirit energy in the world automatically. Even more so, a cultivator did not need to intentionally cultivate and only required time to reach the frightening scale of Yin-Yang, True Lord. On the other hand, green spirit roots had higher understanding abilities and martial gifts, and they had a slightly higher chance of understanding the Paragon skill. It was only like that. In reality, there was almost a twisted obsession with cultivators' spirit roots on this mainland. No one knew that spirit roots were only an aid for martial cultivation, and one could still become an unrivaled powerful figure even without a spirit root. Just like Blood Moon Sect's Holy Lord who was born thousands of years ago. Wuxia World. It was said that there was no spirit root in the body of Blood Moon Sect's Holy Lord, but despite so, he once killed the only powerful figure with an indigo spirit root on this mainland. Although there were also rumors that the Blood Moon Holy Lord had a violet spirit root, there was already no way of proving the authenticity of the rumors. Yi Qingtang, since you are here today, you shall be buried here, and this will make it easier for me to account to the sect. How about that? Ning Luo smiled. Yi Qingtang's skills were not bad, but Ning Luo was confident that he could kill her. If you have the ability to, Yi Qingtang said and curled her finger towards her at Ning Luo. Come and try. Ning Luo's smile froze on his face when he saw our Yi Qingtang completely belittle him. As a Yunxiao sect intersect disciple at martial chi level 3, he was, however, looked down upon by a Xianling sect intersect disciple today. Do you really want to die? Ning Luo paused between his words as the murderous expression in his eyes intensified. That's why I told you to come and give it a try. Yi Qingtang sneered. As Yi Qingtang spoke, Ning Luo had vanished from where he was standing instantly. In almost the blink of an eye, Ning Luo was already beside Yi Qingtang and rammed a palm towards Yi Qingtang without saying a word. The intense aura of martial chi level 3 escalated to the maximum in an instant. There was a cloud of dust as wild gusts of wind were stirred up and crushed rocks on the ground floated in midair. Facing Ning Luo, a powerful opponent at martial chi level 3, Yi Qingtang brushed the belittling thoughts away and fought seriously. Die! Ning Luo shouted sternly and hit Yi Qingtang's crown with his palm that was filled with a destructive force. Yi Qingtang's expression was cold when she noticed it, and she lifted an arm to block it. Boom! A loud sound rang. The edges of their clothes danced in the air as both retreated a few steps. Shock emerged in Ning Luo's eyes immediately as he looked at Yi Qingtang strangely. As someone at martial chi level 3, he could easily crush an ordinary third heaven of martial chi level 2, but Yi Qingtang was extremely strange. The skills that she displayed were not those of an ordinary third heaven of martial chi level 2. Swoosh! In not a while, Ning Luo returned to his senses, and Yi Qingtang's demonic blood sword had already landed. Yi Qingtang's swordplay technique was unconventional and had unexpected winning moves. Moreover, the sword in her hand was extremely sturdy, and the demonic air around it was frightening. Ning Luo did not dare to fight head-on and could only dodge the blade for the moment as he retreated a few steps successively. However, Yi Qingtang refused to yield an inch and advanced on him tightly. She slashed the air with her sword, and the demonic air invaded the air within a radius of several miles. The surrounding trees were chopped by the invisible sword aura as sawdust drifted in the sky. At that very moment, Zhu Chang'e, Qin Huan, and the other Xinling sect disciples were completely dumbfounded as they watched Yi Qingtang. Chapter 481 The Paragon Skill 1. Ning Luo was at martial chi level 3, yet Yi Qingtang could be evenly matched with him. No, it was not a tied match either. The situation before them was clearly Yi Qingtang suppressing Ning Luo. Twisted, Qin Huan's eyes were widened. Regardless of whether it was Yi Qingtang or Ning Luo, both of them displayed a frightening combat ability, which had exceedingly surpassed that of the inner sect disciples, even to the point that Qin Huan could not see the tracks of Yi Qingtang's and Ning Luo's attacks clearly. Boom! A loud explosion caused the Xianling sect disciples to return to their senses. At that instant, Ning Luo had already drawn out his sword, which clashed with Yi Qingtang's demonic blood sword. The sword aura swept across the surroundings instantly. The expressions of the Xianling sect disciples changed, and they immediately retreated backward. The amount of power from the battle between Yi Qingtang and Ning Luo was not a joke, and they could be chopped into pieces if they were just a little careless. If they innocently embroiled in this disaster, there was no one they could find to reason when they died without a trace. Huh? Yi Qingtang, you're really not an ordinary person. You're only at the third heaven of martial chi level 2, but could force me to draw my sword out. You're truly not simple. Ning Luo laughed as he looked at Yi Qingtang. However, Ning Luo had not finished his sentence, yet when Yi Qingtang's left fist was hearsely thrown on Ning Luo's face. Boom! Then, Ning Luo's face was a little twisted, and he was flung several meters away from Yi Qingtang's punch. After steadying himself, Ning Luo wiped the blood from the corners of his lips as haze clouded his eyes. You? So full of bullshit. Yi Qingtang sneered coldly. Haha, Ning Luo guffawed suddenly. Forget it, originally wanted to play with you, but since you don't know how to appreciate my kindness, there is no need for me to be merciful already. Really? Show me your best then. Yi Qingtang uttered. Since Yi Qingtang had already confirmed that Ning Luo was a Yunxiao sect disciple, she made up her mind to kill him right there and not allow him to flee back to Yunxiao. Otherwise, even she would not be able to stop history from repeating itself. You're so confident, Yi Qingtang. Could it be that you thought I've already done my best? Ning Luo asked. A bunch of nonsense. Yi Qingtang shouted coldly. Then, she leaped up and slashed the demonic blood sword down at Ning Luo, wanting to split Ning Luo into two. At that instant, Ning Luo was motionless in face of Yi Qingtang's mighty aura as he snickered. You're a mere red spirit root, and there's no way you can understand the Paragon skill. Just this fact itself has already sentenced you to death. As he spoke, his aura changed drastically. In the dense forest, the surrounding temperature dropped, and there seemed to even be snowflakes descending slowly. The Paragon skill? Zhu Chang'e, Qin Huan, and the other Xianling sect disciples who were hidden far away could not help but quiver in the extremely cold temperature. A hint of terror emerged in their eyes at that moment. Although it was said that there was a chance of understanding the Paragon skill from yellow spirit roots onward, many cultivators were nowhere close to understanding it even after an entire lifetime. Not mentioning cultivators with yellow spirit roots, even those with green spirit roots might not be able to understand the Paragon skill throughout their lives. For example, while Xianling sect had disciples with green spirit roots, Feng Moli was the only one who understood the Paragon skill. As the group panicked, frost formed all over the ground. Chapter 482, The Paragon Skill 2. At the same time, the demonic blood sword in Yi Qingtang's hand landed. Clank! The sound of clashing metal reverberated throughout. Ning Luo used his right arm to block it. Is that the Paragon skill? A certain Xianling sect disciple exclaimed in alarm. A layer of frost covered Ning Luo as cold air enshrouded him. He used his right arm that was covered in frost to block in front of him, bearing the force of Yi Qingtang's sword. Yi Qingtang, this is the Paragon skill, the frost. Ning Luo's lips curled up. As he spoke, several icicles were formed in the sky and shot down at Yi Qingtang from all angles, wanting to pierce through Yi Qingtang. Paragon skill, the frost? Yi Qingtang scoffed. It's merely like that only. Then, Yi Qingtang swept her demonic blood sword across, breaking all the icicles. Now it's interesting. Ning Luo kept his sword and guided the frost to form an ice pike in his hand. Whiz! The ice pike was charged towards Yi Qingtang immediately. Wuxia whirled. Yi Qingtang was not frightened at all as she slashed it with her demonic blood sword. Boom! As the demonic blood sword clashed with the ice pike, Yi Qingtang felt an unbearable icy air which wanted to corrode her. The moment the demonic blood sword came into contact with the pike, ice covered the demonic blood sword so rapidly, wanting to seal Yi Qingtang altogether. Slightly shocked, Yi Qingtang immediately abandoned the demonic blood sword. As the demonic blood sword fell on the ground, the intensity of the freezing never slowed down as the ground within 10 meters from the spot was covered by ice at a speed visible to the naked eye. Your reaction isn't slow? A playful smile was hung on Ning Luo's face. If Yi Qingtang had not abandoned the demonic blood sword, she would definitely be sealed by the ice. Despair arose in the hearts of the Xianling sect disciples when they saw how scary Ning Luo's paragon skill was. Earlier, they actually innocently thought that they could capture Ning Luo and bring him back to Xianling sect. If they knew this from the start, they would never offend Ning Luo so brazenly no matter how courageous they were. What moves do you still have? Show them all, Yi Qingtang said without emotion as she looked at Ning Luo. With things as such, you still want to speak so mightily. Yi Qingtang, you're truly stubborn. Ning Luo laughed. An imprint was formed in his hands as he spoke. Instantly, snow floated in the sky, and an icy air rose from the ground. In just a moment, the coldness extended 100 meters out, and before Yi Qingtang knew what happened, her legs were already frozen. This is bad. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. She originally wanted to crush the ice with her feet and escape from it, but she realized that the ice was as hard as steel. Feeling the disturbance of this biting chill, the primordial GI in her body was completely sealed and could not be used. Junior Sister Yi, Zhu Chang'e shouted when he noticed what happened and flew forward, using his sword to slash the ice on Yi Qingtang's body. Bang! However, not only was this slash unable to damage the ice the slightest bit, Zhu Chang'e's hand was numbed instead, and he was flung several meters away from the impact. Junior Sister Yi, don't be afraid. It'll save you. Qin Huan leaped forward as well and condensed all his might in his hands, hitting the ice that rapidly froze on Yi Qingtang's body. Ow! Similar to Zhu Chang'e, Qin Huan let out a miserable cry and was flung over 10 meters away by the force of the frozen ice. Chapter 483 The Paragon Skill 3. As Qin Huan landed, he stepped on the area that was sealed by the ice and fell hideously as he lost his balance. Huh! The ignorants are fearless. Ning Luo glanced down at the Xianling sect disciples arrogantly. Just based on you ants, you all thought that you could smash my paragon skill. What a joke. Ning Luo, you ungrateful betrayer. Release Junior Sister Yi now. Otherwise, you will definitely die once the sect elders arrive. Qin Huan hollered angrily as he pointed at Ning Luo. Xianling sect elders? Disdain flashed across Ning Luo's eyes. He had never respected those so-called elders in Xianling sect. Even if they rushed here in time, what could they do to him? Senior brother Ning Luo, it is never too late to repent. Release Junior Sister Yi now. Things are still reversible. Zhu Chang'e persuaded Ning Luo as he saw that Yi Qingtang was about to be completely sealed in the ice. However, Ning Luo waved his right arm, and an icy air charged at them, causing them to collapse on the ground. You little ants, even killing you all would be dirtying my hands. Ning Luo returned his focus to Yi Qingtang. At that moment, the ice had already extended to Yi Qingtang's abdomen and had no signs of stopping. Yi Qingtang, I'm also one who cherishes talents. It is indeed admirable that you can reach this stage, live up to this day, and even force me to use my paragon skill as a red spirit root. It is a pity, though, that I cannot defy Senior Sister Yi Yu's orders, and I can only take your life to account to the sect. But apart from this, if you still have any wishes, perhaps I will help you to accomplish them if I am able to, Ning Luo said as he looked at Yi Qingtang, who was unable to move. Currently, The ice had already extended to Yi Qingtang's flawless neck, and it reached the crown of her head before she could say anything. At that very instant, Yi Qingtang turned into an ice statue with no exposed area for her to breathe. Junior Sister Yi. Read its latest chapters at Wuxia World. Site the Xinling sect disciples were horrified at the sight. Although Yi Qingtang was already very powerful, Ning Luo was at martial chi level 3 and understood the paragon skill of the frost as a green spirit root. No matter how powerful Yi Qingtang was, how could she be Ning Luo's opponent? Ning Luo, you bastard! How dare you kill Junior Sister Yi? I must avenge Junior Sister Yi. Qin Huan shouted furiously and was ready to battle it out with Ning Luo. However, after taking only a few steps, Qin Huan slipped and fell on the ground once again. Zhu Chang'e and the other Xinling sect disciples darted forward and helped Qin Huan up hurriedly. Don't stop me. I must kill this bastard. Qin Huan screamed. Calm down. Zhu Chang'e grabbed Qin Huan's arm tightly. It was simply delusional for them to defeat Ning Luo with their skills. If they acted rashly now, wouldn't it be losing a few more lives? If that was the case, what was the meaning of Yi Qingtang's death? Hold on. Ignoring Qin Huan, who was struggling desperately, a Xinling sect disciple was shocked as he pointed at Yi Qingtang, who had turned into a statue. Zhu Chang'e and the rest looked in that direction instinctively. At that instant, the ice on Yi Qingtang's body seemed to be melting. An inexplicable flame aura blended with the force of the cold ice. Boom! Before they returned to their senses, the sturdy ice on Yi Qingtang's body exploded instantly. You must be kidding? Qin Huan's jaw dropped as he stared at Yi Qingtang. Chapter 484, The Paragon Skill. 4. Currently, there was a layer of golden flames covering Yi Qingtang's body and was filled with a destructive force. The golden flames were extremely strange. They clung onto Yi Qingtang's body, yet did not harm her. Even her hair and clothes were not damaged at all. That is, the Xinling sect disciples exchanged a look, and shock filled their eyes. The Paragon Skill? Not far away, Ning Luo was flabbergasted as he stared in disbelief at Yi Qingtang, who seemed to be walking out from a world of burning flames. Paragon Skill? Is that very powerful? A devilish smile was seen on Yi Qingtang's face. Impossible. Ning Luo's eyes dilated suddenly. Paragon Skill? There is a slim chance for only yellow spirit roots to understand it, and it's extremely rare for green spirit roots to understand it as well. You are only a red spirit root, Yi Qingtang. There's no way you can understand the Paragon Skill. Oh hey, Yi Qingtang sneered. Since that's the case, then what do you think this is? Ning Luo himself understood the Paragon Skill as well, and thus was extremely sensitive to the aura of the Paragon Skill. At that instant, the golden flames that enshrouded Yi Qingtang clearly had the aura of the Paragon Skill. Although there were some differences, Ning Luo could confirm that there was nothing wrong. No, that's impossible. Ning Luo shook his head. Yi Qingtang's performance had completely exceeded his level of comprehension. Humans had always been fearful of the unknown. Coldness filled Yi Qingtang's eyes. Ning Luo was extremely powerful, and if not for her ultimate origin skill, perhaps she would really have been killed by him just now. Despite so, the primordial chi remaining in her body was extremely little and not enough to sustain her ultimate origin skill for too long. Yi Qingtang was clear that she had to go all out with her fur abilities at this instant and take Ning Luo down with one move. Otherwise, the consequences would be dire if her primordial chi was exhausted. Die! Yi Qingtang hooted. The golden flames transformed into billows of blazing flames, and a golden divine phoenix about 100 meters tall was formed in the sky. Read latest novels at Wuxia World. Sight the divine phoenix's eyes were fireballs, which were extremely overbearing and arrogant. Then, the divine phoenix groaned, seemingly causing one's soul to leave their body. It was as though the vault of the heaven trembled as well and had to make way for it. Swoosh! The divine phoenix flapped its wings, and golden flames flooded out, turning everything into nothing. With a crushing force, it wanted to turn anyone who dared to offend it into nothing but dust. What is this? Feeling the imposing force of the divine phoenix, Ning Luo retreated a few steps instinctively. However, the ice where the divine phoenix passed by melted and turned into flowing water, which then was evaporated in an instant and turned into vapor. Ice God! Seeing that the divine phoenix was impossible to stop, Ning Luo bit his tongue, and blood dripped on the ice before him. Boom! A loud rumble of thunder reverberated in the surroundings. Under everyone's watchful eyes, an ice giant appeared quickly and took on Ning Luo's appearance. It held an ice spike in his hand and was donned in an ice armor like that of a god of war made from ice. Boom! The ice god of war stepped on the ground and walked towards the divine phoenix slowly, causing the entire land to tremor. Roar! The ice god of war growled frighteningly as the ice spike in his hand pierced towards the divine phoenix at the speed of lightning. Chapter 485, The Paragon Skill, 5. There seemed to be indifference in the divine phoenix's eyes as it noticed the situation. It howled and golden flames soared instantly, melting the ice spike that was charging towards itself. Subsequently, the enormous divine phoenix rammed against the abdomen of the ice god of war fiercely. Boom! The attack of the divine phoenix caused the ice god of war to collapse and explode into numerous broken ice shards. Impossible! As the ice god of war was shattered, blood seeped out of Ning Luo's mouth. His paragon skill was understood as a green spirit root and, moreover, belonged to the medium level amongst the paragon skills. How could it be defeated by Yi Qingtang's so-called paragon skill? Ning Luo used his blood as a lead and controlled the ice god of war with his mind. Thus, after the ice god of war was shattered, there was serious damage inflicted to Ning Luo's mind, and he was severely injured. From afar, Zhu Chang'e and the other Xinling sect disciples were completely stultified and almost forgot to breathe. What is that divine phoenix? Yi Qingtang only has a red spirit root. How did she understand the paragon skill? And how did she defeat Ning Luo, who was at martial chi level 3 and possessed the paragon skill, with the skills of a third heaven of martial chi level 2? Am dreaming? Qin Huan looked at Zhu Chang'e in confusion. Maybe, Zhu Chang'e replied. Senior brother Zhu, how about you give me a slap? Qin Huan asked with a frown. Pow! A resounding slap landed on Qin Huan's face. Does it hurt? Zhu Chang'e asked. Qin Huan touched his face and pondered for a moment. It seems to hurt a little. The other Xinling sect disciples stared at him blankly. Whiz! Without giving them time to think, a loud sound rang. Ning Luo flew into midair instantly, wanting to flee this place. The paragon skill he used earlier had almost exhausted the primordial chi in his body, and his mind was injured. If he did hot escape, he was afraid that he would have to die there today. Wish to escape? Yi Qingtang laughed coldly. How could he have it as he wished? In an instant, the golden divine phoenix transformed into a monstrous blaze which chased after Ning Luo. The divine phoenix was extremely fast and blocked Ning Luo in just the blink of an eye. Damn you, Yi Qingtang! Ning Luo gritted his teeth and immediately retrieved a signal flare from his space ring. Boom! The signal flare exploded in the sky, forming into a certain special symbol. Yunxiao SCCES distress signal? Yi Qingtang frowned deeply. Ning Luo actually called Yunxiao sect for help. No, must kill him before the Yunxiao sect people arrive. Yi Qingtang pondered. The coldness in Yi Qingtang's eyes penetrated through Onk's bones as she looked at Ning Luo, who was floating in the sky above her. As Yunxiao sect's hidden spy in Xinling sect, Ning Luo had already silenced Fu Lingtian, and the consequences would be dire if he returned to Yunxiao sect alive. Once Ning Luo was allowed to return, even Yi Qingtang did not dare to guarantee that she could stop the wheels of history from rolling on the tracks of her current life once again. At that instant, the Yunxiao sect signal flare was already sent, and there was no way of stopping it. Die! Immediately, the golden divine phoenix turned into a blaze once again, wanting to devour Ning Luo completely. As long as Ning Luo died, there was hope for Xianling's SCCD's survival. As Ning Luo saw the golden blaze nearing him, he did not dare to be careless. An endless cold air erupted from his body to block the attack of the golden blaze. Boom! The golden blaze exploded around Ning Luo, and flares shot up the sky. Ning Luo spat a mouthful of blood instantly and fell on the ground from midair like a kite with a snapped string. Chapter 486 Elder Lin 1. Ning Luo, you must be buried here today. I'm afraid it's delusional of you to wish to return back to Yunxiao sect alive. Yi Qingtang's eyes were ice-cold, as though they were completely devoid of emotion. The demonic blood sword drew a blood fog in the air. Then, Yi Qingtang charged towards Ning Luo with the demonic blood sword in hand. Junior Sister Yi, don't be rash. Suddenly, Qin Huan and the rest rushed up to stop Yi Qingtang. What are you all doing? Yi Qingtang frowned. Junior Sister Yi, the sect master's order is to bring this betrayer back to the sect for interrogation. If you kill him, it seems a little inappropriate. Qin Huan explained after thinking for a moment. Bringing a corpse back is the same as well, Yi Qingtang said. How is that the same? A corpse can't talk. Qin Huan was speaking halfway, but met Yi Qingtang's cold glare. If I don't kill him, how about I kill you instead? Yi Qingtang said. Then, Qin Huan could not help but shudder as he sensibly retreated to a side with Zhu Chang'e and the rest. Junior Sister Yi, you're right. Eliminate the evil for the sect. Kill the betrayer. Ning Luo. Qin Huan pointed at Ning Luo and shouted seriously. Kill him. Yes, kill him. Zhu Chang'e nodded as well. Kill him. The other intersect disciples were very sensible as well. Yi Qingtang immediately flicked her wrist, and the demonic blood sword was slashed toward Ning Luo at the speed of lightning. As long as Ning Luo died, Xianling's sect could be saved. However, at this critical instant, a silver arrow flew towards Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang's brows were tightly furrowed. The track of her demonic blood sword diverted a little and was blocked in front of her body. Boom! That silver arrow shot on the demonic blood sword, sparking a flare. Humph! A loud scoff erupted at the scene. In the next second, Elder Lin and his grandson, Lin Feng, walked toward them slowly. Elder Lin? Qin Huan and the rest were taken aback by Elder Lin's appearance. Master! Zhu Chang'e hurriedly bowed. Elder Lin waved a hand for Zhu Chang'e to rise before turning to give Lin Feng a look. Nodding, Lin Feng walked toward Ning Luo in great strides and helped him up with a concerned expression. Senior brother Ning Luo, are you all right? Ning Luo's lips curled up as he looked at Lin Feng. It's fine. Elder Lin, what is the meaning of this? Why did you attack Junior Sister Yi? Qin Huan looked at Elder Lin in confusion. Not mentioning Qin Huan, other intersect disciples, and even Zhu Chang'e could not understand Elder Lin's intention. Yi Qingtang, how bold of you! How dare you want to kill my disciple? Elder Lin bellowed at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang scoffed coldly at Elder Lin's words. How do I explain this? Ning Luo is a spy in the sect. If I don't kill him, do I not do anything and let him kill me? Fallacious argument. Elder Lin waved his sleeve and interrupted Yi Qingtang. The sect will judge whether Ning Luo is the sect's spy, and it's not yet your turn to execute the sect rites. You have committed a serious offense, yet you still don't know that you're in the wrong. Without giving Yi Qingtang a chance to speak, Elder Lin looked at the Xianling sect disciples and ordered. This girl is audacious. Capture her. The other Xianling sect disciples looked at each other. Chapter 487 Elder Lin 2. Was Elder Lin joking? Even Ning Luo, who was at Martial Chi Level 3, was not Yi Qingtang's opponent. Yet Elder Lin told them to capture Yi Qingtang. Did he not understand the situation? Not mentioning the fact that they were not Yi Qingtang's opponent, They would not listen to Elder Lin and attack Yi Qingtang even if they could defeat Yi Qingtang. They knew what was right and wrong. Ning Luo was clearly a Xianling sect spy, and if Yi Qingtang had not appeared, they would have been met with a disaster. How could they fight Yi Qingtang now just because of Elder Lin's orders? Elder Lin, I'm afraid we cannot obey your orders, a Xianling sect disciple said grimly. Master, I cannot obey your orders as well, Zhu Chang'e said. Elder Lin had a look of surprise when he saw that these Xianling sect disciples actually refused his orders. Elder Lin, Ning Luo is clearly the spy and even attacked us just now. As the sect elder, not only did you not do anything, you even wanted us to attack junior sister Yi. Could you be a sect spy as well? Qin Huan stared at Elder Lin and questioned. Junior brother Qin Huan, do not talk nonsense, Zhu Chang'e said with a frown. Elder Lin had a changed expression after hearing Qin Huan. As a sect disciple, you have no respect for your elders. You should be punished. Then, Elder Lin waved his right arm, and a powerful breath pierced the air and charged towards Qin Huan. Qin Huan's expression changed drastically after feeling this frightening energy. Never had he expected that Elder Lin would actually attack him. Whiz! A shadow flashed and blocked in front of Qin Huan. Yi Qingtang readily dissipated that energy. Elder Lin, could it be that you're afraid of being exposed and want to silence him? Yi Qingtang asked smilingly. Ah, little girl, I really underestimated you back then. Elder Lin sneered. Indeed, I want to protect Ning Luo today. However, I'm not the sect spy. Afterward, Elder Lin looked at Ning Luo beside him and said, Ning Luo, I know that you're a Yunxiao sect disciple, but you and I have a strong relationship. No matter what, I will ensure your safety today. Xianling sect does not have any room for you, so I will leave together with you. What do you think? It would naturally be the best if Master is so principled. Ning Luo smiled and continued on. Master should be aware that Xianling sect now knows of something they should not, and would definitely meet with a calamity. No one will be spared. You just said that we have a strong relationship. I will find a way to protect your life since you helped me today. Ning Luo, it is not just my life. Your junior brother Lin Feng's life. Elder Lin looked at his grandson, Lin Feng. Ning Luo's eyes were cold, though he had an indescribable smile on his face. Rest assured, Master, junior brother Lin Feng and are very close as well. 1 am a kind person, and I will naturally protect his life as well. Good, Ning Luo. The years I spent grooming you are not in vain. Elder Lin finally heaved a sigh of relief after obtaining Ning Luo's promise. After Fu Lingtian admitted that he was a Yunxiao sect disciple and revealed Yunxiao sect's secret, Elder Lin felt that things were far from good. Given Yunxiao sect's way of handling matters, it would definitely annihilate Xianling sect. Even if Ning Luo died here today, Yunxiao sect would receive the news not long later. Ever since Fu Lingtian said the truth that day, Xianling sect was destined to be exterminated. Elder Lin was originally at his wit's end until Ning Luo sneaked into the Hall of Justice to kill Fu Lingtian and Xianling sect. Learning about that, a tiny hope arose within him. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.